Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are once again working on Roblox. This will be part 5 of our tow truck build. So in the last video, I was going over setting up the rope and turning it into a winch. So what I wanted to do is I just wanted to do a recap of that and just go over the properties. So some of the properties, so what was happening was that I was saying winch enabled. I'll just do that. Okay, so we start the truck, right? It's there. We come over to the other truck. Okay, we connect our rope. And we'll take a look at it here in the tow truck. Miscellaneous, tow bed, where is it? Crane, winch A. So there's the rope right there. So what was happening when I was pressing winch out is it would start getting smaller. Now why is that? Well, when I press and hold it, you can see down there we have winch force, winch responsiveness, winch speed, and winch target. Now you see there the winch target is now 250 and the current length is 218, so it's actually going out. So when you turn winch enabled to true, that's interesting that it doesn't just operate anymore. You actually have to press the button. So while you're holding the button down, it's telling it to go to the length, the target length, which in this case is 250. And it shouldn't go beyond that. Yeah, there you go, 250, and it stops. Perfect. So now if I was to say winch enabled for winching in, all right, so that's basically, I don't want to get too confusing. That's basically that. So now we want to reverse that function, right? So what I've done is that when you press winch out, what it does is it sets winch enabled to true. We want to set the force of the rope so that way it has enough strength to pull the vehicle. And then we want to tell it how long does it need to go to. So every time I press the button, it's going to go try to get to this length. And then when we release the button, we just say winch enabled false. So it'll stop where it's at. It won't shrink and it won't expand. It'll just stay where it is. So the next, so we need winch A in, and then we need winch A in stop. So if variable is equal to winch A in, then what do we want to do? Well, let's do the same thing. We'll say local ropes. We'll do 3 S's. This way it doesn't get confused. Script. We need this here, basically. It's got to find the rope constraint. All right, and then what we need to do is we need to say ropes dot winch enabled equals true. And then what we need to do is we need to say ropes dot winch force equals, and now this has to be in quotes, infinite. Otherwise it won't change the value to infinite. It'll give you an error. And then we need to say ropes, we're going to say dot winch target. Now this is where we tell the rope where to go. And we could say 1. So it's going to try its best to get to 1. Now it might not actually get there. It might stay at 3 or 4 or 5. And that might be as short as the rope is ever going to get. And that's just the way it is. So then we'll say if variable is equal to, and we want to say winch A in stop, and we'll just take this here. We'll take the same local, and that way it knows where to find the winch. And it turns it to false. So now we should be able to make the winch smaller, and we should be able to make the winch longer. So if we do this, and we come over here, and we connect this here, and we say winch in. Now it should be getting shorter. Let's double check this here. Tow truck, miscellaneous, tow bed, crane, winch A. There's the rope there. Yeah, as you can see, it's getting smaller. You see the properties there? Winch force is infinite. Winch responsiveness, I'm not too sure what that is. That might be like the springiness of it. I don't really know. And then we have our winch speed and our winch target. Now you can change that speed faster if you want. You can make it slower. It's entirely up to you. Now I chose the length of 200. It's probably quite long. And then maybe what I'll do is we can actually print the length of the rope. Yeah, you know what? We can actually do that. So it can either print the length of the rope, say, as a graphic on the vehicle, or we can even do it here on the interface. There you go. See, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Let's see. I wonder if it's possible to set the length. When you first click on it, you can choose a length for it. I mean, we could do that too. We could have it in the interface here where you can enter in a number value and it'll read that number value, and then that number value could become the length. So here we go. So the truck has its parking brake on. And then what we'll do is we'll just get into this vehicle here. Right, we're going to turn it on. It should roll forwards now. Yeah, see, there we go. Just like that. I actually really like that. There, you see it's trying. Okay, now we've got it up in the air. This works better than the actual arm. It's incredible. It's just incredible. So then you could, right? Look, now we're actually having an easier job towing than we were with the actual, the tow arm. And I mean, and that's okay. That's perfect. So that's why I wanted to have two on here, right? So that way we could do that. So if there's any issues, oh, that's perfect. That's actually perfect. That's exactly what I want to do. They're perfect. So this, I don't know what we would use this part here for. I know this is, we would want to attach this as to be like a dolly that we can attach onto there. Maybe what I'll do is I'll create a weld between here and here. And that way it's not flopping around. But all right, so the next thing we want to do, let's set up the other winch. So let's rename this to Winch B. All right, and then we need an attachment. Insert object. And attachment. And here we need an attachment. Let's see. We'll take this, we'll copy it, and we'll just paste it right in there. Now all that does is that when you click on it, what it'll do is it'll find the tow truck, but we're going to rename that. So when we put this on the server, we need to get the player. So if we say player here, then what we can say is winch equals instance.new row constraint, and then we'll say game.workspace, and we'll say find first child. We can say instead of tow truck, it'll be player.names truck. But I'm going to go over that, like I say, when I add it to the live server, I'll go over that when I add it to the live server. Yeah, and so basically, and then script.parent.attachment. So we should be able to do two of them. And now what we need to do is we need to edit the interface on the tow truck so we can add the second button, right? So this is where I was thinking. So we have this here, and then in our winches, we can duplicate this, and this will be winch B out, and we'll duplicate that again, and this can be winch B in, and then we'll say winch B in, and this one here will be winch B out, just like that. Out, in, out, in. Okay, and then now we need to go into the local script, right? And we need to take these two here, because we're just basically duplicating these. Whoops. Except this is going to be winch B in, and this is going to be winch, yeah, winch B, winch B, and then winch B, and then we're going to change this to out. Yeah. Dot B out. Dot B out. And winch B in. Winch B out. Out. Okay, and then now we need to go to our control script, and we can basically duplicate this. We'll just duplicate these four. So that'll be winch B. And then we need to say winch B. Out, stop, in, stop. Winch B. B. Now we should have two independent winches on there. Two independent winches. Now, as I was saying, on the interface, okay, below we can do this. We can say insert object. This can be a text label. Here, let's do this. And let's duplicate that. And this can be winch A. Do I want to have it here? I don't think I want to have it here, actually, to be honest. I think we're going to get rid of that and get rid of that. Probably what we'll do is we'll have the length on the vehicle itself. I think that'd be pretty cool. So we can put that back in there. Let's just test this out first and just make sure we can connect both winches. Obviously, I don't need to start the vehicle, but I will just, we're testing the code. So, look at that. We have two, except there's one problem. Two ropes on the same attachment. We don't want that. And winch A, it should be winch B. Make sure we're in the right one here. Winch B and winch B. Winch B. All right. That should be okay with that. It's neat, huh? We basically went from nothing to is not a valid member of winch B. Oh, it's attachment. Where's attachment? There we go. Whatever you're going to rename that, whatever you name that attachment to, winch, crane, part, whatever, you just want to make sure that you have that there. All right, so we should now have two separate winches. We do. We have two separate winches on the back of the truck. And then if we go to the truck itself and we take a look at the miscellaneous, the tow bed, crane, and then we have winch A and winch B. Winch A, we already know it works. There's winch B. So then winch B in. Oh, look at that. And then winch A in. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. See, that's exactly what I was hoping. Right? And then that way, if this thing was tipped over, what we'll do is I'll take these buttons, basically, and maybe I'll put a couple on the top, you know, like you just put them in locations around the truck. And then, like I say, if you're like me and you like to make interfaces for your vehicles, then on the vehicle, you can have a button on the interface, activate, tow, whatever. And what that would do is that would, you know, these things could be invisible and the code could just not work. And then what you do is you make these things visible on here. So that way somebody comes by in a tow truck and they can just click on it and rescue you and tow you away, right? So that would be up to the player. You know, you give that choice to the player. I know in some games they have it where you click on the vehicle, and then a window will open up for the player, and then the player has to click on it. And if they say yes, then it allows you to manipulate the vehicle. But this is pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. So, like I say, we'll get the name of the player, and that'll allow us to hopefully find the truck. And we can change the winch speed too. When the winch starts to slow down, the speed starts to slow down on the winch, it's important that we don't go too fast. And then we'll have all these undesirable things happen, right? So I'm just going to pull this in just like I did the last one. I just want to make sure that it's going to work. Make it short. At 200, it's pretty good. It might be a bit long, but you know, I think that's a pretty decent length. Like, just in case if you fall down a ravine or something. I know with the other towing part. Oh yeah, I didn't lock the truck. The other towing part, you have to look at that. Look at how strong that is. Incredible. It's way stronger than the weld. But the thing about the weld is it welds to this part here. And when it's welded, this vehicle becomes part of this part here. So if this was like a roll-off, tow truck where we had a bed on the back, that's where the winch or the weld would come in handy, because then you could roll the back of the vehicle down, and then you could weld the truck to that part, and then that part would slide up onto the tow truck, and you can drive away. So in this case, it's a little different, and that's why I was kind of saying, like, you know, sometimes you got to play around with it, and of course, sometimes you don't get these. It's not ideal. That's Roblox. You know, unfortunately, this just isn't going to work in the way that we want it to. So we just have to change. We just have to rethink how we want to use the vehicle. Now, unfortunately, because of that, some people are going to play your game and they're just not going to like it. In my opinion, that's the way it is. You can't satisfy everybody. What matters is you're the developer. So you're the one that's creating the experience for people to join. And, you know, it's important for you to express your creativity. People don't like it. That's fine, but you are going to find people that will like it. You are going to find people that find this because it works, right? Now they can hook up their truck to a tow truck, and they can pull it around, and they can do all that kind of stuff. So it gets more utility, even though it's not ideal, quote unquote. It does give your vehicle more utility, and you'll find that people will enjoy it. People will enjoy your experience like this. And I think this is really cool because now we got the two ropes. Like I say, I might change the winch speed. Maybe there will be a setting in here for the winch speed. I'm not too sure how to code that yet, but we'll figure that out in the final sort of tweaking. There we go. So you see we got both winches on there. Oh, this is cool. And then we can close the winch screen. Right? We can get back in the truck. And we'll close that. And we got our master UI, which doesn't disappear. And then we can just go. Oh, you know, it won't roll. We got to turn on this vehicle. Turn on this. There you go. And now we can have a game where our vehicles break down and we're able to rescue our vehicles. Look at that. See how smooth that is? That's way smoother than trying to weld it on there. And the crane works? Oh, yeah. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. So we're almost done. We are almost done. I'm not too sure what to do with that part now. But you know, it can stay on there just for show or whatever, right? If we, you know, I'm sure there'll be, I'll figure out a use for it other than just looking cool. But that is pretty much what we want. You know, if I make that can collide true, we could use that just to help. It could just sit underneath the vehicle, just to sort of help whatever, just so it looks kind of neat. I think that would be actually kind of cool, actually. All right, so now this, I wanted to check this. Why isn't that? Yeah, script up parent, not visible equals false. There we go. That's funny. You gotta click on it twice. That's just something else. Winch screen, close UI. There we go. Something like that. I think that's nice and clean. Right? We clean that up. I'll change the colors of it, obviously. Cool. So this is coming along. This is coming along really, really well. Really, really well. That's excellent, excellent, excellent. So we're almost, I guess we're almost done really with the basics of the tow truck, and we're almost, now we're kind of ready to focus on the lights, on the lighting. I don't know if there's anything else. Maybe, okay, maybe what we'll do, let's try something here. Let's try something here. Let's insert a surface UI. Let's go insert object. Surface. Okay, and then we're going to insert a frame. Perfect. And then we're going to insert object. Let's get a UI list layout. And then we're going to insert object, a text label. Okay, and then the frame. What's the size of the frame? 100 by 100. And this should be 100. There we go. And what we can do is we can insert object, local script. Now we can say wait, local script, or a script. Yeah, we could probably use a regular script for this. It's a surface UI. Insert object, script. And what it's going to do is we're going to tell the wait. Okay, and then we're going to say local rope equals script.parent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we want to say .crane. And then we'll say .winch a. And then we will tell it to wait for child. And it's going to wait for child. We're going to say rope constraint. Wait for child, rope constraint. All right. So we will say if rope, then script.parent, script.parent.text equals rope dot length. All right, let's see if that works. I think it said infinite yield possible on wait for child rope constraint. Yeah, so it's giving me an error on that saying. There we go. Look at that. Now there's the length of it. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. And so now we just, like I say, I'm not very good at it. It takes a while for me to get these things down. But we can duplicate that. And this one here, we could say .winch b. Yeah, and it'll say wait for child. And it says infinite yield possible because there is no rope constraint there. So I wonder how else we could do that so it doesn't give us the error. If rope, then I could say else. You know that we could just say this here. Else wait, and we'll just tell it to wait. Maybe we can do that. Maybe that'll work. Right now we're designing code. We are designing code. Let's see if it's going to give me the infinite yield possible. It is, yeah. Infinite yield possible. Line 3. It's giving me an error. I wonder if we can. No, we can't. We can't do that. Rope. Wait for child. It's just because it's not there, and so it's just giving us a warning. It's saying, warning, the rope constraint actually isn't there. If we said find first child, instead of giving us a warning, it would give us an error, saying that that's not there. So when you tell it to wait, it shouldn't even give us a error at all. It should just wait. Right, and okay, so why is that important? Well, here, we'll go to Roblox real quickly. We'll go to the website, and we'll click on a game. Let's go to Project Alpha, and let's go to, we say View Analytics. So when you have your game and you're developing, come down here, we have this performance. See, it shows error reporting. Okay, there's no errors here right now because nobody is playing the game. Let's go the last 7 days. Look at that, 4,000 errors. Now, what are they? A lot of them are the player module camera mode. I wonder what that is. Game. That's a Roblox error, but I don't know. We'll have to figure out. So you see that? We got 150 errors from here. And then key is not a member. This is the small garbage bins. Remember, this is what I was saying, that when you touch it, it looks for the value inside the part, and if it doesn't have that, it just gives you an error. But if you tell it to wait, it shouldn't give you an error at all. It should just wait until it finds the part. So when you're problem solving, this is kind of what where you go through that, and this tells you, okay, what's wrong. Obviously, there's nothing wrong because there's no errors with the game. The only error that we get is the key. So where these warnings can be annoying is that when you're trying to problem solve errors with your game, they will come up here as a warning, right? Infinite yield possible, wait for child. So I don't know what that is. Oh, this is in this game on the TVs. There's a graphic that plays, but Roblox will only play 3 graphics at a time. So if there's 5 or 6 people on a server, it won't play all the graphics on 5 of the TVs. It'll only play on 3 of the TVs. So it gives me this error here because it's waiting for it to load. And that's basically what that is. So these errors would show up there in your error reporting. And then, like I say, so if you're trying to figure out what's what and this and that, sometimes it can be hard to sort through those errors because you just don't know. So I'll have to find a way to silence this. Either the script is, let's see, we could call this Winch A. Hold on, let's see which one's which. Winch A. Call this Winch A. And we can call this Winch B. And then again, when we click on here in the code, we can actually tell it to activate these labels when we connect the rope instead of it just waiting for the rope. So that's just another way that you can do it, and that might eliminate this error here. So we could try that right now. Then we can say winch dot let's see, dot parent, and then we'll have to change this from union to I don't know, display. We'll just call it display for now. Let's see if we can find it. Dot display. Parent dot display. Oh, I see, because it says dot new rope. So what we want to do, we can say winch truck actually. We need to say winch truck dot parent dot display. There it is. And then we can say dot surface GUI, right? We can say dot frame. And this is dot winch a. Okay, and then we could just rename the script to length. Oops. We don't want to have any strange characters in there because it might give us an error on the characters. Like that. All right. Winch a dot length. Dot enabled equals true. So what we'll do is we will disable the scripts, and then that way we don't get an error at all. And then when we delete, we'll destroy it. First, we'll turn that to false, and then we'll destroy it. Okay, and that should work for one. That should work for one side. We'll make sure that it works, and then we'll check the other side. So the only error it's giving us now is just from the, whoa, hey, don't roll away. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. Winch A in, winch A out. Except, let's see here. Tow truck, miscellaneous, tow bed, crane. Winch a rope constraint. Oh yeah, see, it's not actively giving us the length. It is only setting the length. Equals rope dot length. So let's see, insert object. We need a rope constraint just so we can look at it. Yeah, I wonder why it doesn't want to update the... I wonder if I have to tell it to update the value. I might have to tell it to update the value. Rope constraint. If rope constraint, then equals rope dot length. So it'll tell us how long it is when it connects. But then we want to actively get the numbers. So we might have to use the property changed. I wonder where I have that. Let's see. I wonder where I have that set up. This is good to have all these kind of random fuel tests. Here we go. It might be in this save. Where are we at? What's our runtime so far? Look at that, another 30 minutes. Okay, so here is where I was working on. Look, I got all this kind of some neat stuff still to add. This is an old, whoa, this is an old one. Look, I got the fire truck here. I was working on the, I got all my heavy equipment here. Okay, we want the fuel truck. That's right, it was this. Oh, but I was using a number value. Let's see. I don't think that's what we wanted. We wanted the This one, yes, here we go. Get property change signal value. And then here it's update health. Because this was taken from a health bar and I converted it over into a fuel bar. So I think we just need this property change signal. So it's got to be in a function here. Function update health. Let's see. So we'll copy this. We'll do this together. Put that down there. And then we need this here. Like that. Okay, now we don't need this anymore. No, we'll save changes to it. Okay. Then we can turn this to rope. And property change signal value, but that was the I gotta look at that one more time here. Open from no, not from Roblox. Was it fuel test? Yeah, there we go. See that one more time. One more time. In here. So we'll take this. And this is for the bar size. Text label dot text equals fuel. Fuel happens to be there. Okay, and then we need to get the property, which is the I wonder what that is, the value there. Property and the string. Maybe it's fuel.value. Yeah, fuel.value. There it is right there. That's for the bar. This is to make the bar right the size. It'll expand and whatever. But we don't need this part here. What we need to do is probably just this, the text label.text. Yeah, so as you can see, it's not easy. It's not easy trying to design some of this stuff. Sometimes you got to think a little critically about it. I'll have to play around with this. Because what it'll do is it's going to update health. And it should... Alright, I really don't know how to... I can't think about that right now. I don't know how to add that to this. So what we could do, probably a simplest way to do this, is if we insert an object, let's get a number value, right? Number value, and then we could say rope length. We can go insert object script, and we can go insert object. Do we need a number value? We could say while true do. Maybe that's not the way to do it either. Jeepers, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take to actually get this thing to update that. If rope then, So it's going to give us the length of it when it's created, but we want to update that value. So that's where the update, we get property change signal, is it? And so we could say, what is it, local function, and then we could say, can we do this here? Property, no. That's where the update health stuff comes into play. Let's look at that one more time. Let's see if we can figure this out, if we can get this kind of in there. The fuel test. And that way what it'll do is it should update the value every time it changes. So there's a couple of ways to do that with Roblox. I don't know if this is part of it too. I think this was something else. Yeah. In here, we can say local function update health, but it's a property change signal. It's this here. I just don't know where it's getting the value from. If that's a fuel.value. That's for the bar size. But we won't need that. So this update health. Maybe I just need to name where it is. Right. This is the property that's changing. And then what does it change? And then that just tells us where it's going to change. All right, so let's see if we can do this. So we'll take this, and then we need this part of it. Instead of fuel, we can name this rope. And what's it going to do? Property change signal. We could say length. I wonder if that'll work. And we can say script of parent of text label, and we can just connect that to the value, maybe. I don't even know. Let's try this. We'll do this and we'll do that. Equals rope.length. No, but we don't want it to do that. We want it to equal let's see. Because here we're dividing it. We're dividing it here. And the fuel, it's getting this value here. So yeah, maybe we do need to leave it like that. All right, let's try that. Let's see. Let's try that. No, it's not updating for us. But that's still disabled? What's going on? Maybe that's why. Let's see. Tow truck, miscellaneous, tow bed, display. Oh, I'm working on the wrong one. Yeah, see, it didn't update there. I'm working on the wrong one. Show and explore. That's Winch A. This is winch B, so it didn't do anything. Equals rope dot length. Yeah, so this, anyways, there's something here where we got to get the property change signal, and this is the property that we want to change. I wonder if we still need the if statement in here. If rope, and then we'll just try that. Let's try. That's all we can do, really. This is just kind of play around with it and just try and make it work. Otherwise, I don't know what I can do here to get this thing going. Yeah, no, that didn't work either. Or I could try and trap it into a while loop. If rope, then I wonder how we can tie this. I wonder how we can tie this together. I don't want to take this, the bar itself. See, here we have it in a while loop, right? For that, but I don't know if I want to take the text label, script apparent, yeah, dot custom text, which is this right here. That's the name of the text label. All right, and then the health bar, script apparent, and then our value, which is there. But we don't need a number value because we can read the rope length. So, yeah, equals rope. I wonder maybe that's why if I didn't, I wonder if, yeah. Equals rope dot length. I don't think we have to wrap it in quotes because we're not. But I wonder if I need this. How that can work. Check, update health. Property change signal is value, but we changed that to rope, didn't we? Property change signal. I said length. We could try rope on there. I don't know. We could try that even. This might take me a little bit to figure out. I'm going to have to do some more critically thinking about this. It's just playing around, right? Just playing around at this point. Yeah, see, it still didn't... Did it activate? Did it enable the scripts? It enabled one of them. Miscellaneous toolbar display. Oh, it enabled Winch A, which doesn't have any of the code in it. And didn't enable Winch B. Now, why is that? All right, so let's update this with this code here. Maybe that's why. Let's see if it's going to work. Let's see if that'll work. No, no, it doesn't want to work in the way that we got it here. If rope, then rope equals get property change signal. Let me see here. Rope. And then we'll say, what's this? Get property change signal. Oh, and then we need the string value. Get an event that fires when the given property of the object changes. And then it has some example code. On brick color changed, new color. All right, and then partner brick color, really blue, right? So on brick color change, get property signal, brick color is the signal that it wants to change. So in this case, it's the length that we want to change. On there, see, maybe that's going to work. Still doesn't work. And a little concerned here. Tow truck, miscellaneous, tow bed, display. Oh, that's probably why. It's because they're both the same. A and A. Yeah. And this should be B. And this should be B. All right, let's try that. It shouldn't matter. I mean, well, I guess it shouldn't matter, actually. Let's try it. Oh, did I get an error from that? Nope. Okay, so now we have the length of both. Hey, there we go. Look at that. We now have the length. It worked. It worked. Yay. So now what we want to do is we want to change rope.length, and I wonder if we can do this. That'll work, and then it won't display the percentages. No, that's I got to figure out how to get this to not display the percentages. Rope.length, and then all right, so we don't need that anymore. Rope.length, I guess that can kind of work. I'll have to, I haven't actually done it in Roblox there. Like when you're coding in Stormworks, you can tell it to not print the percentages, but I'll actually have to go into there. I'll have to go into there and see how I have that written. See how I have that. I wonder if I have an example somewhere. Rope.length. we want this to be a percentage of. Anyway, so there you go. There you have it. There you have it. Let's just leave it at that. So we don't need this code. This part of the code is redundant. All right. So all we need is this. There you go. The property change signal. This is how we use it. And now we're able to get. And then of course with the text labels, there's everything that we can edit in there, right? We can change the font type. We can change the text size. There's all that other stuff that we're going to want to do. Also in here, the labels. We can make this background transparency. Let's see, where are we here? Background transparency. We can make that like that. And of course, we can insert object. Insert object UI, and we can put in like. So we can do that as the corner. There we go, the UI corner, and then it makes it round. We can duplicate that. We can put one in here, and I think we can give it a border. Can we give it a border with this? Just the corner radius. Let me see. There's a way to give it a thick border as well. I'll go back into the fuel test because I have it on this one here. So as you can see, over the years, if you're a developer and over the years you've been developing off and on, like I have, and you have various different saves at various states, it's kind of nice. Sometimes you can just pick through the code that you have and just make sure that it does what you want. Is it this one here? I think it is. Let's see if it's the stroke. Let's see, paste into. No, it is not that. That gives us a label around the text. What gives us the... It's that one there. Oh, it's the border color. I think it's actually the border color. And then you can change the border thickness. Is that right? Haven't spent a whole lot of time in here. Border color, border mode, border pixel size. It's overridden by this. Scale offset. Let me get one. Ooh, that's nice. Look at that. We can even make it smaller if we want to. I will have to try and make the text fit in there as well. I don't know if we don't want the text to wrap. But I should be able to put a border around it, even though it's in there. In there. So, is it this one here? It's not that. It's this one here. This. Let's see, if we copy that, I still think it's this one here. Paste into, no, that just changes the text. The text, it just changes the text. All right, anyway, so that's for me. I'll determine that. I'm just trying to figure out how to get the border around here, but I don't think I can do that because it says it's overridden by the UI corner. So if I get rid of that, and then outline, okay, and then border pixel size 2 maybe. Oh, I see, or 4. Strange, do I need background transparency? All right, I don't quite understand that. I need to spend more time here figuring that kind of stuff out. So anyway, so we have the labels there. What we can do next is maybe I'll change these around. I'll figure out how to make them into a dial. Ooh, that would be really exciting if we could turn that into a dial that rotates. All right, that's going to be the next one. That's going to be part 6. We'll see if we can turn this into a dial. You had to rotate. Anyways, thank you so much for watching part 5. Let's just recap what we did. We finished connecting the winches. We were able to modify the properties by telling the winches to enable. And then once we created the winch, we were able to tell what force it needed and its target. Where we want the rope to go. Do we want the rope to expand or do we want the rope to contract, right? And then we connected that to our buttons. And that's pretty much it. Now the last thing we could do is would be like a weld function where we could weld this truck to here. But I really like the fact that it just hangs off the ropes and we're able to drive around with the tow truck with this hanging off the ropes. And it seems to be a lot better than just trying to weld it here. Like I say, when you weld the truck to this part, the truck becomes part of here. And so when it tries to lift it up, it's actually trying to lift up the entire vehicle. Whereas with the ropes, for some reason, it just wants to pick it up from the front. But that's cool. And yeah, so in the next video, what are we going to do in the next video? I think in the next video, I'll figure out how to make these on my own time and then see if I can add that in. But I think we're going to focus on the light bar and we're going to finally focus on getting the lights and putting the sounds into the vehicle. And then it'll be pretty much ready to go. So that'll be part 6, the final part, sounds and lights. So thank you so much for watching, liking and subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one.